Hello, Verd Van Sickle, the CEO of the Safety Source, here to talk to you a little bit about PPE vending. We've been getting a lot of interest, a lot of opportunities to provide proposals to folks. This is something that a lot of companies are really starting to look at, not just for their PPE supplies, but they're also looking at it for their office supplies, which is something we can offer as well. But today I want to talk to you about PPE vending solutions. The Safety Source is a leader in the PPE vending. A lot of times customers are interested to know how much the machines cost or how much do I need to spend, what's the situation. So we have several different options when it comes to your investment. You can purchase the machine for $11,000. You can lease the machine for $650 a month plus the $125 a month subscription fee. Or we can provide the machine at no charge. We're simply going to be requiring that you purchase the supplies from us. Our price on our products are going to be very competitive. We typically see our prices 10 to 20% less than some of the large national distributors. So you're not going to be required to spend more for a safety glass than you're probably spending today. But we do require that you hit an annual spend of $72,000, or if you want to look at it on a monthly basis, we require that you spend $6,000 a month in order for us to provide you the machine at no charge. Do you require a signed contract? Yes, we do. If you're going to lease the machines, we're going to have a lease agreement for 36 or 60 months. If you purchase the machine, the only thing then you're going to be tied to is the monthly subscription, and that can be a 12-month subscription. It doesn't have to be 36 months. Can we purchase supplies from another vendor, or are we required to purchase from the Safety Source? We would obviously like to be your supplier as well, but you can purchase the supplies from another vendor. If you purchase the machine, or if you're leasing the machine, you can purchase the supplies from whoever you like. For those enterprise customers that are spending $6,000 a month or more per machine, we will provide you the machine, the software, at no charge. We simply require that you spend $6,000 a month in supplies that go into the machine from the Safety Source. Typically, the Safety Source is going to be very, very competitively priced, especially against the large national distributors like Fastenal, Grainger, MSC. We do very, very well. You can go to our website. We've got case study after case study where we've displaced one or all of those large national distributors. Our program is just more aggressively priced. We're also trying to show you options to help reduce your costs, not just sell you possibly the same Cadillac that you're using. Maybe you can look at using a different glove or a different safety glass that can help bring your costs down. What items can go in the vending machine? Well, typically you're going to want to put items that are going to give you your quickest and your highest rate of return, right? These are going to be items that have significant dollar value typically, or mission critical items. The other customers that we have are also wanting to dispense high volume consumable items. Think of things like safety glasses, gloves, sleeves, vests. We even have customers that are using the machines to dispense paint markers, China markers, batteries, things of that nature. Again, items that you feel like the consumption's gotten a little bit out of hand and maybe you need to bring it back down or dial it in. Those are the items you're going to want to look at putting in your PPE vending machine. Will certain products have a problem vending? Well, we're going to test vend everything. When we sit down, develop a planogram, we're going to put these products here, these products here, these products here. We're going to test vend everything to make sure it does dispense properly. Now, you can't vend everything. If you've got large tools, you're going to want to look at a locker style vending machine as opposed to one of the spindle helix machines that we're talking about here today. We offer those as well, and we have customers that have found those to add great value to their consumables. How do I control, or can I control, what my employees are able to get? Absolutely. That's the whole concept here, is you want to set restrictions This employee or this department is allowed to get 1 pair of glasses a week. This employee or this department's allowed to get 1 pair of glasses a day. So the ability to dial up or dial down your restrictions are totally fluid. And what we found a lot of times is what we start with the customer maybe isn't what we end up with after 2 to 3 months of experience. We figure out, hey, we can dial this down or we can dial this up. So it's a totally fluid situation. But that's the whole idea here. You just don't want your employees walking up to the storage cabinet or the crib or wherever you're currently keeping these items and grabbing and having open access to take whatever they want. You want to be able to control that consumption. You also want to be able to look at the reports. We have the ability to provide daily, weekly, monthly reports on who's consuming what and how much they're taking so that you can stay on top of that. The other part of that is you have supervisors who you may want to allow them more access to products than you would your typical employee or worker. So we can set restrictions for the supervisors, and we can also set up super users who basically have unlimited access. In other words, you've got somebody that's maybe on the floor with your operators, and you don't want every 5 minutes somebody interrupting them. So you're going to allow that person to go to the machine and get more product out if they need to support your production or your needs for PPE. How does the replenishment of the machine work? Well, we have a few different ways we can offer replenishment. We have many customers that we offer a complete fulfillment, a complete vending solution where we're going to have our vending tech on site filling the machine in order to make sure that you don't run out of product. We're going to do that through running reports, and then we're going to go ahead and write the orders to fulfill and bring the product in and then put the product in your machine. We also have customers, however, who want to have their own employee fulfill the machine. So they're simply ordering the supplies from us. We're delivering the supplies. They're keeping the items in a secure area, and then they're having their own employee keep the machines full. Can the machines be used outdoors? Absolutely. We've gotten more and more inquiries from large contractors with all the infrastructure work going on throughout our country. They're looking at how can we make PPE more accessible, but also at the same time, control the consumption and hold our employees accountable for their PPE items. PPE vending is an excellent way to go. You simply need to be able to get the machine plugged in to 110 volt outlet. These machines are going to connect cellularly to the server. So as long as we've got cellular connection, the machine can be moved, placed anywhere, just plugged into power, and access is allowed and employees can get what they need. Who installs the machine? The safety source is going to have the machine shipped to your facility. We're going to have a vending technician on site to plug the machine on, to make sure it's commissioned, operating properly, and load the products into the machine and make sure the test vends are done and everything's working smoothly. So you're not going to have a situation where a machine shows up and it just sits there. We're going to make sure it gets commissioned, gets plugged in, it gets put online, and it's able to vend and start right away, helping you control your consumption on your PPE supplies. What happens if the power goes out or we lose internet connection? Well, if the power goes out, obviously the machine's not going to operate. If it was to go offline or lose internet connection, it is going to remember transactions that maybe took place. We can set it up a few different ways. We can make it so the machine doesn't dispense if it's lost connectivity, or the machine can dispense if it's lost connectivity to the server, and then when it reconnects, all those transactions will be stored in its memory. Can the machine be placed in dusty or grimy environments? Absolutely. These machines are very robust. These machines are in railroad, mining applications, construction sites. Obviously, they're in manufacturing and other facilities, but these machines operate very well in very hazardous or dirty, grimy environments. Does the machine or the software require updates? These don't happen very often. When they do, we're all pretty much unaware of them. These are being pushed out from the software manufacturer of the machines. So you're not going to typically even know that this needs to be done or is being done, but it is part of the entire solution. You're not charged for a software update or anything like that. Is there additional equipment needed? No. Like I said, we have different kinds of machines. We have what's referred to as a helix or a spindle machine. Again, much like a candy bar vending machine, which is what we typically are putting in place for our customers. But we also offer the locker style machine where you're able to go in, swipe your card, enter your badge number, open up a locker, get what you need, shut the locker, and now the machine has tracked that you've taken that item from the locker. Is there training? Absolutely. We're going to do virtual training. If additional training is going to be needed, we're going to do that as well. Training's typically going to only take about 20 to 30 minutes. We're going to want to train whoever the administrator at your company is, and that's simply going to be able to allow them to add, delete employees. If they decide they want to change restrictions for departments or production schedules change, they're going to be trained on how to do any and all of that. But we also can help with that. We can handle all that for you when those situations arise as well. Who's responsible for repairs of the machines? If the machine has been vandalized or accidentally hit with a forklift, obviously the customer is going to be responsible for the repair of those damages. If it's just typical wear and tear, maybe a motor goes out, we're simply going to ship out a new motor. You're just going to unplug the old motor, plug the new motor in, and go on your way. Can we put our company logo or company colors on the machine? Absolutely. We can help develop your concept, whatever you want to do. Basically, it's going to be a wrap or on the machine. It looks great. Some companies really like the machines to be branded with their company logo, and we do that all the time. How do my employees have access to the products in the machine? There's a multitude of options. You can provide the employee a 4 or 5 digit PIN number. If you have proximity cards or badges at your facility, pretty much whatever access you want to give or need, we can provide for the machines. So you're probably thinking, does this make sense for my company? Typically, we need to see the customer spending at a minimum $50,000 a year on supplies in order for this to have a nice return on investment. Typically, customers ask whenever we talk to them, what kind of a reduction, what kind of a cost savings can we expect? On average, we see about a 30% reduction in cost savings. So if you're spending currently $100,000 a year at your facility on these kinds of items, you're going to see a $30,000 savings.